Hello, welcome to our Twitch stream. We are Tovi. We're experts in front-end development, Angular, React, Node.js, DevOps, project management, UX, and more. If you need web application development help, reach out to us for a free consultation, either through our website or by emailing us at contact@patovi.com. My name is Wade. I'm here with two other Angular team members, Mark Thompson and Ilyass. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. I'm sorry, that's embarrassing. And we're going to be working on a Angular application that utilizes Angular 3 to make a WebGL room meant to be explorable for the purpose of a holiday party that we're hopefully going to have in December. Um, so that's what we're going to be working on today. This is, I think, the third stream we've been working on this, and last time left off attempting to use, I think, an environment shader in order to get a sky going. And since that time, I've added a sky sphere to the application. Let me switch over to that screen. There we go. And let's resize that a little bit. And then reload.
What a lovely introduction. Also, just so it's recorded and I can reference it later, Ilyass, how do you say your last name?
Oh, it's fine. I know it's hard because it has this ha letter. It's difficult for the others to pronounce it. It's Ilfwi, but you can say Ilfwi or something
If we,
like that. Yeah, I know it's hard because this ha word or letter, it's not available in English, I believe.
oh, using those limited edition letters.
Yeah.
That was a horrible joke.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So this is the sky I mentioned. It is just a sphere with a star texture on it. And then there is a second sphere inside of that with a transparent, almost entirely transparent to the point where I'm kind of disappointed it's hard to see, sphere that's textured with clouds that are turning at a rate that I found not likely to make people seasick, hopefully. Um, so that's been added. I'm pretty sure the land was there before. It was just solid blue off in the distance.
Yeah, definitely.
Other thing that's been added, there's a snowman that pops out in different places across the exterior and looks at you. He's not showing up at the moment. And what else have I done?
It will find you, though.
Yes,
always
I
does.
added these presents here in the corner. They don't actually do anything yet, and they're actually, they feel really small. Or maybe the room just is very big and empty. Um, and, oh, I added a directive to some of these elements so that you get an indicator that things are interactive, like the crystal ball is interactive and um, the drink tray is interactive and that kind of stuff. So today, I think the first goal, sorry, I don't have my little tablet out, so you don't get the benefit of looking at my horrible handwriting. But I think first thing we're going to try to do is get some snow falling outside. And then if that happens within these 2 hours, and it probably won't, I think we're going to move on to trying to make it so that click events can't go through walls, because at the moment they can, and I've got an idea for how we're going to do that as well. Okay.
Do you want to show the? I think last time as well, we were hung on a bug with the cactus.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was we had a cube for collisions on the cactus, and if you walked into it, you just kind of flew through it and ended up outside. And I fixed that, so now you just kind of bounce off of it. And I honestly don't know why it was happening. I never did figure that out, but I replaced the cube with a cylinder and didn't have the problem. So I think it had something to do with maybe parts of the cactus were sticking through the cube, or I honestly have no idea. It seemed like a very weird bug. I tried making sure the faces are all facing outwards, not inwards, but nothing seemed to help.
Is there a way for them they can hear the sound when you get closer to it?
Fortunately, maybe I could probably do some OBS stuff and have capture the web browser and get audio from it, but I don't know how well that would
Okay,
work.
it's gonna take time.
Yeah.
We can spoil it.
It's the
going
Wilhelm
to
screen. You can just Google it. It's a
Yeah.
royalty-free screen that's has been used in lots of things. You can find it on Wikimedia Commons. Okay. So talking about the snow effect, my thought here is that have a particle effect outside of the room and have snow just continuously animating downwards. Not going to be fancy. It's not going to do anything with the ground. It's just going to go through it, but the ground's already snow colored, so hopefully it won't be that noticeable. Yes, the Wilhelm scream. So there's an example on 3JS, 3js.org of this lovely WebGL particle sprite example, and it's got some nicely drawn snowflake images that were apparently done by Descartes, but I'm not going to use those. I drew my own, much less nice snowflake, which I guess we'll get to see here in a little bit. And rather than, of course, having this kind of just meander around and you can navigate it with the mouse. Let me look at the source to this. I'm going to go off that and do something similar, but have it going downwards towards the ground. So this is, so I think I mentioned this before. Angular 3 is a library that kind of wraps 3JS, which is a library that makes it easier to use WebGL. It's got some like geometry natives, has the ability to load WebGL geometry files, and has a bunch of useful things in it. And Angular 3 wraps that and makes it so that you can construct scenes through a combination of like components that just get dropped into your component template, as well as a nice component store and some directives and other things that make it easy to deal with different elements from within a template. So the main scene I've got here, the template looks like this. So we've got our canvas here, and then inside of that, got the primitive that has the sky. So that sky contains the stars as well as the cloud layer. And then we've got the room itself. So the floor, the walls, some of the things inside of it, and all of the collision objects are in that geometry. And then I've got a hemisphere light just to make things a little bit brighter because Mark said they were spooky before. And then we've got a bunch of components plopped in here. These are ones that I've created. So like the crystal ball is its own component. And they're fairly lightweight template-wise. They've just got primitives in them and they handle loading their own geometry. But Angular 3 is able to, like because those are inside of the NGT canvas element, they get translated and added to the scene. Yeah, let's see here. So this is what I'm going to be working from. Oops, come on, there we go, went through. And then I've got this component that wraps a first-person controller and adds some stuff to it like a poor man's collision detection. And lastly here, I've got a new component called Snowstorm, and that's where the snowstorm stuff is going to go. So I started on this a little bit. It's very messy because I tried multiple different things. There's stuff commented out because I thought I was going to need a reference to the buffer element inside of the template, but I don't think I will. And close that one. The template right now is pretty bare bones. I was initially thinking I could construct the entire thing using Angular 3 components. However, I couldn't seem to get the material to use the texture I was giving it, so I'm going to just try doing it by constructing the material using the Angular or the 3JS class, and then binding it directly to the ngPoints object. So ngPoints is the equivalent of, let's see, where are we here? So the particles, so it's a set of points that are represented by geometry that contains a buffer geometry object, which is just a geometric object that's created from a flat list of vertices. So in this case, they're generating 10,000 vertices here with random x, y, and z, and pushing them onto this array, and then assigning that array to the position attribute on that geometry object. which is what ends up creating just a bunch of little free vertices. So if this wasn't a point buffer or a point object, it wouldn't render because you can't see points. You can only see faces. So you need 3 points to make a face. But because of how this will render, it'll basically put a billboard sprite image at each of those points. And the goal here is to have those on like the render cycle, have those move. Actually, how do they move? They're not just randomizing them. Let's see, what does this look like? Okay, so getting the time, so you need a delta in a render loop just because you're not necessarily going to have a steady frame rate and you don't want things to move slower or too fast if somebody has like a really good computer and you're going at 300 frames per second. So that's why you need a time delta. So this is getting the camera position and adjusting it based on the mouse position. So that's what that kind of drift was. It's making the camera point at, I guess, the center of the scene. Now it's going through all the children objects in the scene and seeing if they're an instance of the points class, which I feel like, I wonder why they didn't just store reference to that object elsewhere. Then they wouldn't have to look it up each time. Okay, so they're rotating the entire object. Wait a minute. Is there more than one points object? Are you guys looking at this code as well?
Yeah, I also have the source code open on my other
Okay,
screen.
so it's multiplying times, that's delta, times if I is less than 4, whatever the index is plus 1, else negative the index plus 1. Wait a minute, maybe I need to look at this. Is there not a reference? They have multiple point? Oh, wait. Okay, they're doing. Okay. They've got multiple point objects because they have one for each of their sprite images. I'm not that fancy. We've just got one image, so we only need one. So that should be fine. Let me update the, just so we can see the snow, I'm going to hide the room scene primitive. Actually, maybe I could just be, okay, there's a visible, so I'll say visible is false. I've been thinking, I keep thinking I want to add like a keyboard shortcut so I could disable collisions or like hide and show things, but maybe that's too much work for something I'm probably not going to use that much. Oh, there we go. Now we're just in space. And you can see the clouds a little better. Well, the cactus is still there.
I got to take a screenshot of that. That could be a cheat code.
What, hide the room?
Out of bounds. Yeah. Allow for out of bounds and also like hide the room.
Oh, here we go. So you can probably not even, well, no, you can. I can see this on OBS, so it should be fairly visible, I guess. We have 3 snowflakes, beautifully hand drawn by myself. So this is what that point object is doing based off of, and if we get this working using just the ThreeJS way, I will probably try to figure out how to do this in a more like a more angular way. I'm not sure, since you have to build I'm gonna have to build the geometry object. I'm not sure if there's an easy way to bind that to the buffer geometry or not, but there probably is. Okay, anyway, so looking at this right now, I'm creating a new buffer geometry here and setting its position the same way that was done in that example. And I'm just adding 3 points to it. One's at 0x, 0y, 0, 5, or yeah, 0x, 0y, 5z. One's at 1, 1, 1, and one's at -1, -1, -1. And I think because it's just a float buffer. So the 3 tells it, I don't actually know what that does. Oh, item size. Okay, it tells it how big each of the items should be, maybe, or how many. I assume how many axes are in it. Not entirely sure. So I guess the idea here, first thing would be let's add a ton of vertices here. So let's say
While you're doing maths and doing birds, I took a screenshot of the cactus in space, and the snowman totally photobombed it. The thing is haunted, dude.
yes, the
It is
snowman is
haunted.
the magic of the snowman is a little bit less. Oh, he just popped in. A little bit less when you can see him lurking underground and then rising up. Um, so I actually have no idea how big uh, in like whatever units this is using the geometry area is. So the at the bottom, this is a sphere. So if you think about it like it's a globe that you had to, if you flatten it out, it's basically just got a picture painted on it, and then you reassemble it, then the bottom's kind of squished and weird. Yeah, it's the clouds and everything. It's just a flat cloud texture and it's a flat star texture, but you can't really see straight up or straight down, so you can't tell the warping as much. So yes, in other words, it's a black hole. Exactly. Um, so let's just say uh, verts push.
Is there a reason why I can't see the snowflakes on my side?
You have to step back a little bit. They're right under the starting point, and then look down.
Oh, I see them.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, that's weird. They like rotate with me.
Yeah, they're billboards, which is basically it's a snowman's kind of a billboard, even though he's not a flat image. All right, I'm gonna do.
Oh, okay,
Random doesn't
interesting.
actually take a thing. It doesn't know. I'm just gonna say size.
Yeah, I think random just gives you a decimal number, basically.
Yeah.
Less than 1.
All right, fix all my formatting issues. Okay, maybe I'll just fix my formatting issues myself.
Well, my VS Code just like totally zoomed and caught up with whatever you just typed.
I'm a fast typer.
Hacking.
Come on. Oh, that was all it took. Okay, cool. Good job adding types. Whoop, whoop.
Better than Copilot.
What is? Oh, there we go. Okay, nice. It's happy. All right, let's hit save. Oh, I should probably do something more with this because right now nothing's going to show up with that. Let's add it to. Whoop, trying to do auto format while you're typing.
Sabotage.
Do you have
Sabotage is even better than Copilot.
Do you have a better way of generating? Oh, I didn't. Oh no, I did do it right. Okay. Do you have a better way of generating 2,500 times 3? I guess 750 numbers and plopping them in an array than this?
No.
Okay. All right. Can we? I can't tell if they're actually.
Probably with the new array with the length. I don't know if it's going to work or not. But you have to loop over them anyway.
Yeah.
So
I also probably should be doing. I want to make them centered. Yeah. Okay. Fine. No,
Mark,
no,
you
no.
are
Print center.
muted.
I would say it's funny how hard it is to find the snowflakes because of all the stars.
Can you see any of them? I'm
No.
thinking they're all just in the positive direction because I didn't add anything. You're not going to get a random number less than 0, so hopefully this will make them spread out over uh, negative 1,000 to positive 1,000. Boy, not much of a sense of movement. Okay, good, the drinks are there. Not much of a sense of movement. Crystal ball. Well, I don't see any. I'm going to do a full turn just to make sure they're not all hiding in one quadrant. All right, next option is we're going to make them really obnoxious. Um, uh,
Oh, I was muted again. Yeah, actually, it's not vectors, because it's 3D space, so it's like octaves or whatever they are. There's 8 sections.
the data type it uses is called a vector 3. Oh, quadrant. No, you
Quadrant.
meant not quadrant, not vector. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, fine, Mark.
Thanks for helping me
I had
correct
to
you.
correct your correction, but okay. Oh, I see
I guess
one.
Oh, like a diamond in the
It's
rough.
getting away. Or I'm stuck on a wall. I
I
forgot.
think you're colliding the wall. Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't. Okay,
Turn visibility. Don't use
I should have just.
visibility. Just remove it.
Yeah. That's the. Didn't think about that. Um, okay. Whoop, snowman.
Oh, there he is.
Whoop. Oh no, actually, perfect. No. Okay, there we go. I think that's one of them, or it's just a really square star. Also, I don't
Yeah.
know that I was trying to be clever here, but I don't know that I remember the name of the file. I had a test image in there because I thought I wasn't seeing it because it's just a tiny little white image. Let's see here, sprites. Oh, Angular Toby. What did I call it? I did, of course, the wrong way.
Is it possible to comment out the sky temporarily so it's just blue?
Yeah, could do that.
Maybe on like next. Oh,
Do you want to do it? You can go to scene A and comment it out for me.
I mean,
See if you can figure out what to comment out. Here, I'll follow you.
is that a challenge? Scene
Uh,
A template,
oh no, you're
and
gonna do it
then
before I get there. There we go.
no, I
Oh,
did
sorry,
it.
I clicked the wrong thing. Sorry.
Oh wait, I don't know what I commented out then. I think I don't know.
Did you make a change? Oh no,
I
cannot read
did.
property of undefined reading session ID.
Oh no,
Did you
what have I
guys,
done?
are you guys still connected? You commented out, oh, the landscape is commented out. Wait, the landscape was already commented out.
I commented this part out.
Oh, I don't think the landscape exists anymore. I think it's all built into the main room. Yeah, so that's the sky. Comment that out if you want.
Oh wait, so do comment it out?
Yeah,
Okay, that's saved.
now I can see whether I don't think I think I got rid of the background um, image that wasn't moving and was definitely going to cause motion sickness.
Also, when not saying that this is a bug that needs to be addressed or anything, but like
Wait a
when
minute, why do I
you
still see
press it.
stars? Oh, no, those are the things. Okay. They're so
Are those
tiny.
are they snowflakes?
Those are the snowflakes. They're just very small.
Nice.
Okay, maybe we need. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Well, actually, before I say that thing, this is a kind of cool effect for stars.
Well, I didn't actually know that this was the thing you could do when I did the star thing. And it's definitely, I mean, it's not that much geometry. It's only 7,500
Yeah,
vertices, but it's definitely more performant to not do whatever shenanigans has to happen to render like buffer geometry. I'm just gonna bump the number up to like 5,000. Um,
wouldn't that make
and
it further away? Or
no, this is the number of
oh,
them.
that's more
Yeah,
stars. So then we
yeah.
need like a smaller number than 2,000.
Just let's drastically decrease it and see what that does.
Yeah,
Increased quantity.
they are stars. Yeah.
Yes. Well, at least,
Oh
okay,
yes.
we know they're there, so I'm going to put them back to the snowflake because the, um, maybe that's a bigger image anyway. I don't know how to spell snowflake. I do know how to spell snowflake. Okay.
I was gonna
Ooh,
say, whoa.
those are the Angular logos. It's kind of cool. They definitely got closer. That's good though.
Or the image is just bigger.
Here we go. Look at those little snowflakes.
Ooh. Hey. So this is definitely one of
They do
those
not look
moments
like
where,
snowflakes, do they?
they do. Yeah. The ones that are far away, they look kind of pixely, like fuzzy. Um, but I mean, they definitely look like snowflakes.
Okay.
This is. I also want to shout. I know you guys say this like every single stream, but like you guys have to see this like actually in your browser because like the stream does not give it justice. This feels like I forget what the movie's called. It had Jim Carrey in it. But like time like stops. It's like walking through like snowflakes and stuff. It's cool.
I don't know what movie you're talking about, but it sounds interesting.
It's
Obvious that can we have angular flags instead of snow flags?
I guess. Maybe I'll make that, maybe that'll be a secret that you all know about now.
yes.
But you have to figure out how to activate it.
Gonna open up the source code.
Yeah, and change the texture. Okay, cool. So this is good. Okay, next challenge, Mr. Mathman.
Oh,
What is the most performant way to make sure that these random snowflakes do not appear inside of the building? So like if I had a range, like a space range,
yeah.
a range in space, what might I call it?
Arrange in space.
I guess I could do it the same way I'm doing the intersections and because like collisions are basically it's a point and it says is it inside of this, but and that's fast enough to run every frame, but maybe it would make more sense just to not. I guess well this doesn't have to run every frame; it just has to be clever enough to. Okay,
Is
we'll
there
worry about that
something
later.
like stacking stuff in CSS, but in this, like you make it behind the other uh, elements? I don't know.
Oh, you mean like so that it doesn't appear on top always? I
Yeah,
think I think these are.
something like the stacking concept in CSS.
Yeah, it's actually so Z index in CSS is
Yeah,
referring to like the Z axis. So you can tip in this the way that the render works, and I'm not that deeply versed in WebGL to be able to explain exactly what it does, but it does depth testing basically. So there's a buffer or a channel typically that's like grayscale, and that's used to indicate depth. So if something's a lighter or brighter white than something else, it appears on top of it. And I have depth test turned off, and I don't actually know what depth test does in this case, and ThreeJS doesn't want to tell me. I guess I could Google, but if I turn it on here, let's see how much that changes stuff.
There he is. Oh, I was gonna say what's kind of creepy is what's it? Yeah, like if you pause your movement using escape, the snowman still comes and gets you. Um,
Oh, apparently depth. Okay, depth testing in this case must be um, have something to do with like
oh,
allowing stuff to appear through it, like allowing the alpha channel to be used so that stuff behind it can come through. So I guess depth test we do want. Wait, I have no idea why it does that, but obviously we want our snowflakes to be transparent. Um,
what's the background color for your snowflakes? It's just
it
no color.
probably yeah, it's no color. Oh, what?
What?
Why did? Oh, did oh it's okay. Depth test had nothing to do with it. That was just a coincidence. I added a W to the end of my file name. Um, so now I've forgotten what it was initially. Was depth test on or off?
I was not paying attention. I was just listening to what you're saying.
it was off. It was false.
Okay, so now it's on. So I find one low enough to see if it's going through it or not. Oh.
Oh, like
Excellent.
the background's like kind of weird on it with the depth test, I think. Like sometimes the background like doesn't like they don't stack on top of each other. Maybe I just wasn't noticing it
Oh, yes,
before.
yes, 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 yes. Okay, that's what it is. But maybe it's against each other then. Okay, that would make sense. So it's trying
Huh.
to like occlude what's behind it. I don't know. I'll put it back to false because that's what the example did. And it looks nice. I think that's what they did. Where are they making the
Nice.
material? Here we are. Depth test fault, yes. Okay. So how else are they? They're really just rotating the entire, like the entire point cloud. They're not actually animating the individual points, which I guess makes more sense. I don't know why I assumed that they were. So I guess we can have all the snow falling in unison. So maybe we do want multiple groups of these so that some can be falling a little bit faster than others, so it doesn't just look like a bunch of snow coming down. And then if there's multiple um, instances of it, can add like a slight like back and forth movement to them so they look like they're kind of waving. This also leads to, if it's the whole thing and not just the individual points, this leads me to the question of how do I make sure they keep falling forever? I guess there could be two levels of them, and as soon as one goes under the ground, it just teleports above it, and then they keep doing that.
Yeah.
Um, so maybe let's try that.
Yeah. Like two sneaky ideas with that is you can obviously do like the warp trick. And then if I'm assuming that the roof would hide that they're warping well enough.
Yeah, I
But
think it
if
will.
not, then you can also add like change their opacity to 0 when they're warped. And so that way you don't see them warp into place and then like they'll fade in. Like
That would make sense. And
if
have them like get, yeah, fade in as if they're falling.
yeah.
All right, let's try to do I I don't know if it's worth trying to do this with um, the nested objects. It's kind of cool that you can do that, like have the material defined in the template, but maybe it doesn't matter, and it's going to be easier to programmatically change it um, if I don't have to pull it out of the template. So I'm just going to leave it like that for now. But I will go ahead and make another.
It would be interesting for you to prove that they can move. Also, like what's it? Because like of how the depth already is working with the snowflakes, like I assume even if you wouldn't get the swaying effect, but I'm assuming if they fell at the same rate, you would still get like things moving at different rates just because of like how close
Perspective.
you are to them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Um,
Less work.
yeah, that is a good
Less
point.
math.random.
So doing it this way, the stars should appear brighter. Yeah, they appear very bright because it's two instances on top of each other. Um, I want to do, okay, I think I'm going to add a group. I probably have to add that as an import. There's a group object. You can use an Angular 3 that just lets you clump um, geometry together. And that's actually, I ended up having to use this for the snowman just because it turns out having an animation that changes the position of the object makes it so that trying to move it somewhere else, it just jumps back to the origin. So I nested it inside of a group and I moved the group to where I wanted it to go. And then since the snowman's inside of it, it still thinks it's at the origin, it's just moving up and down. Um,
This sounds like really bad workarounds for like not having full knowledge of CSS and like trying to use transform, like nested transforms
yeah,
and just
yeah.
nested divs.
Yeah. Actually, technically, yes, it is similar, but I'm not sure, unless it could be I'm just dumb and there's an easy way to change the position and still have the animations work. There has to be. Like, things do it all the time. Like, if something's moving along, it has to be, unless it's just like bones moving or whatever. I don't know. I just decided it wasn't worth it. I spent way too much time on getting the snowman to grow out of the ground when I
Yeah.
actually could have probably just done it and written it in code and had him like move, not had to bake it into the geometry. But that's okay. Okay, let me add that group to the imports. Come on, VS, yay. Okay.
So what's it? There's two problems that we're going to try to solve. I think for the stream, we're going to try to get the snowflakes to move. And also there's the whole overlapping issue.
Like coming in, you mean snow, it's snowing indoors basically?
Yeah. And for some reason, the snow is very far away from you, but also it's not.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Okay.
This cactus is just really huge and it's just really far out in space.
Okay, I think I can do, the reason why I did the group is I think I can add, okay, I can do the before render event handler and use this to move the point um, clouds, point objects. Let's see. What's in this event? I probably just want all of it actually. Okay. Oh, actually, I don't like that because it's not a single type. I have to. Okay, let's do. Easier. Okay, so I've already forgotten what order I did that in. Oh, this is going to send over here. Object. Okay.
So this is not entirely related,
Mm-hmm.
but we had a request if it'd be possible to make the cactus dance.
Make the cactus what?
Dance.
Yeah, that is possible. Just have to add the
Could
animation
you
to it.
could you just like
Wait, you saw
invert
this in
it
chat? Why am I not? Why am I not seeing
in Slack?
updated chat messages?
In Slack, not in the
Oh,
no,
okay.
not in
That would
Twitch.
make sense then. Um, yeah, I can probably do that. It's not going to be. It's not. Well, yeah, I guess that would be a good opportunity to also show how to make how you load animations and stuff. All right, let's get some
I
snow
mean,
falling first, and then we
yeah,
can make
and
the
then
work on making the cactus dance because I have a feeling that watching me remember how to do um, rigging and animation stuff would probably not be much fun for anyone.
I mean, I'm personally looking forward to it. I'm hoping it reintroduces a way to clip. Um, now that there's no clipping,
Oh
the
my gosh,
patch,
well, the bounding box
no
is
more
still going to be
speed
solid.
strats.
All right, so we've got an object. I need to know what type these are. Okay. Oh, it's just a group and an NGT render state. Okay.
Why not just pass the event?
Because you see the types for this event? It's an event delimiter also, so I'd have to import that too. I don't know. It was more things for me to remember, but maybe it's not a big deal. So it's a group. I guess
Oh,
just
they
do
didn't even
group.
have like its own type for the event.
Uh-uh.
It's dumb.
I mean, I guess because the type here could be like there's a before render is available on every type of object 3D, and they all have different object types.
Guess that's fair, but also kind of dumb.
All right. So, uh, let's get our items out of here. I think this will work. Um,
Quick BRB. I gotta pick up a delivery.
okay. All right. Okay, so actually this is a good chance just to go back and look at how they were doing things too, even though we're going to be doing moving. Um, so first thing they're doing is they're getting the point objects. I don't have to do that because I already know that they're the only two things that are in this group. So I got snow 1 and snow 2. And I also want that time delta, but I don't have to do, actually, I'm not sure why is he using date.now instead of like a clock? I don't know. ThreeJS also has a clock object that you can use to keep your deltas in sync. So I'm not sure why that's not using it, but um, let me just get, nice, and just get the delta directly. Okay, so let's say, I could either be,
This
yeah,
this will be triggered before the render of the flags.
it basically, the before render function gets called before each rendering occurs each frame. So it is how you do animation. You change a value inside of um, this function, and then it updates the object before the frame gets rendered on screen, which is where the delta comes in. So you can be aware of how long or how much time has elapsed since the last frame was rendered, which is what the delta is. Um,
Um,
I mean, I guess if I wanted to do this super RxJS way and, you know, throw animation rate to the wind, I could just have a vector3 observable that emits at an interval. But I could also have two position members on this class or on this component class and update those. Or since I've already got access to the objects themselves, I can just move them directly. I think I'm going to start by just moving them directly, and then maybe I can make it fancier. So let's see here. Start with just the first snow. Okay. And then I want to move it down. So let's say, how tall were these? 200? So they're 200 tall. So they're starting at 0. So they're,
But it's
the
also
origin's in the
it's
center.
200 minus 100 though as well.
Right, but that's the full range. So the points could be at positive 100 or negative 100. So it's 200 tall, but its center is also still at 0, I think. So this is not the position of the individual point. This is the position of the entire clump of snowflakes. They're just kind of hanging in the air. I want to move
Uh,
that entire chunk as a unit downwards and then move it back up.
I guess, yeah. I guess I wonder how far down do you want the chunks to go?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, ground is at, actually, I don't think ground is at 0. I think ground is like at negative 12 because of reasons of how my room is set up and the fact they didn't change where it was. But I'll say, how about it goes if it's higher than negative 100, which means it would have gone, if the top half would be where the center starts out.
Oh, that's weird. So like positive isn't down.
Positive is up for
Weird.
the y-axis. Wait, no. Oh, actually, I think you're right. I think in this case, positive is down. I don't remember. I guess we'll find out.
We'll find
It'll
out.
be exciting. Okay, so if it's less than 100, or if it's greater than negative 100, then let's say position dot set component, and z would be the second component here. Actually, yeah, I'm not going to try to be fancy and use like add or anything because I only want to modify the one axis. So this is probably easier. Now, the question is, does this actually mutate or is it just okay, it just returns this. So it is mutating it. So that's good. Z minus, say, delta times 0.8. So if you're going at 60 frames per second, that should
Oh
be
wait,
like,
wouldn't it be if z is less than?
no, because I want to move it down as long as you're higher than.
Oh, you're not exiting early. Okay. Cool.
Okay, and else just reset it back. Ooh, component, set it back to its original position. And actually, maybe I don't even have to have references to the objects here. Whatever, that should be good enough for now. Let's just see what happens. And how horrible it looks. Okay, wait, I'm moving too. All right. It's moving away. Oh, wait, I did Z, not. Wait. Am I? Right. Y is up in this, not Z. Z is up in Blender, but it's, okay, different coordinate systems. So I want to use 1 and Y. But that speed's not awful. It's kind of jittery though. There it goes. It's falling slowly. Let's see it teleport once it gets down to the bottom.
It's weird how there's 2 layers of snow, right?
Yeah,
So
the other
then
one I haven't made move yet.
okay. Whee.
Boy, it's a lot of, how? Okay, it's coming down. Like I can see, maybe I can see the top of it. Maybe I
Can you?
can't.
I can't.
I don't think I can actually. I mean, okay, let me make this like delta times 8. See what that does.
Oh God.
Is it too fast?
No, the white screen.
Oh, that's actually a much
Whee.
nicer rate. All right, let's see. Oh,
Waiting.
all right, it's still fall. Whoop. Okay, so that kind of works. All right, let's position. Let's do the other one too. Um,
I think with the other one, it's going to be more speedish, more fast.
yeah. Uh, actually, I don't even need to do this anymore. I'm just gonna do. Okay, and then if I start um, the other one up higher, then that should be good. This one could be the higher one.
Oh, yeah, it'd be nice is to make it not move after it resets once, just so you can see where that like continuity is gonna clip at when it warps, if it's like visible or not.
Sorry, do what? Oh, like that? Like they're both moving at the same rate right now. So, whoop, let me just look at something. Okay, keep myself stable. So there it goes, it's coming down. It's running out.
Yeah, so there's definitely like a gap
So it's
when it
teleporting.
happens.
It's teleporting back to its neutral position, which is at like the center. Well, this is both layers, so the second one's not coming yet. Let me see how off-putting this is going to be with the positioning. I think this should be in sync now. It should just be eternal falling.
Oof. I got a
What?
weird overlap.
Oh, did you? When? Oh, how am I getting an
Yeah, it happened
overlap?
to you
I'm
too.
just getting it. It's just I'm seeing it run. They're both running out.
Why it's
Yeah,
not looping?
The second one, all right, the second one should be
it's
above the other
definitely
one.
noticeable.
Like, you're
Did you,
seeing the break in between like this, like where they're just both gone?
yeah. And then like after one loop, like both layers basically are like on top of each other.
Oh, so maybe the fact that if it's bigger than 100, maybe it does need to go to 200. It shouldn't be though. It should be the origins should be at the center,
Well, like, because some of them,
and
I
this
don't know.
they should both be. Okay, let me try looking down. So you've seen, oh, they're definitely on top of each other. You're right. Oh wait, no, I think it just all moved. All right, let's make them. Um,
I'm also
add
curious for the event handler. Does it? Because I'm trying to figure out how they're like getting overlapped with each other, basically. For that event handler, does it reset both of them potentially instead of it
um,
just resetting the one?
they're using the same geometry, but it's the object itself that's being moved, so it shouldn't be. Let me try making um, different colors. I think I can actually just do this.
Do pink.
Okay. Yeah, fine. I'll change the type now. Let's see here. Where are the red snowflakes? Or the pink snowflakes? Oh my gosh, that's very disorienting.
It still looks like white on white to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. How did they change the color of theirs?
Maybe it is changing the color, but because it's white, like
Oh, and it's
it's not
additive
gonna.
also.
Can you invert instead?
I don't think. Let me just turn off the. Let me change the blending mode too. Actually, I'll make one of them really big. That'll be helpful. Oh my gosh, wait, how many? Why are there three of them? That's too many. That's maybe probably why I'm not seeing any difference because it's the third one was the one with the color. Well, there we go. Now we got some. Okay, they're like not on
Whoa,
top of each
that's
other,
cool.
but they're also not off or just. Am I moving it on the wrong axis? Um,
Wait, they
Position.
look normal to me.
What do you mean?
Like
Well, I mean,
they're falling straight down to me.
yeah, but they're not. They should. The positions of these two stacks of these should be. Oh, I guess it would have to be twice as much. Maybe it should be 200. Like they're only moving if they're 200 tall. Putting it up 200 should mean the red ones are like always above the white ones.
Yeah.
Okay, is that better? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So they just weren't. Oh wait, maybe that was wrong. It wasn't. Okay, that. Okay, so it needs to be. I think these need to go. It needs to go down to 200. Maybe it does count the top of the object as the origin.
I think making that number bigger will just make it take longer for it to wrap. I think it needs to get booted up like higher
Which
than
I think
0.
that's okay because if it. Oh, good point. Good point. Good point. Good point. You're right. Okay. Um, well, okay. Let's see how horrible this is though. Where's my point of reference? Oh, okay.
I mean, it looks seamless, or at least the initial fall.
Yeah. The
And then it warps on top.
and then they end up both.
I think it's just timing. I think it's literally because the reset is just setting it to origin. So yeah, I think if you change where it resets, it'll correct itself.
So 200 is where the second one starts. So that's where they should. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Yeah,
that's the top position. So that's where they're both end up going when they move back to the top. So that sounds good. Let's
yeah.
see what happens here.
How exciting!
Pretty exciting stuff. All right,
Oh
let's
yeah,
see. Are the red ones coming down? They are. We should
yeah.
see the white ones appear way up in the distance.
This is that scene where like the villain or like the superheroes put like the antidote in the clouds. There's like the pink snowflakes.
I haven't seen the white ones show up. It should just, oh, there we go. That's looking better.
Oh, wait, I still haven't seen mine. Where are they? Oh, I think I see them. Yeah!
All right, so I can put this
Seamless.
back to the single material because we do want them to be the same.
Right, yeah, material design, of course.
Gotta change that type back. I gotta make these just material.
I'm gonna miss you, pink snowflakes.
Okay, and then now, um, let's do this. Let's do, I guess this could be a huge mistake. Um, I'm thinking of adding like side movement, slight variations of side movement. But if I do like pure random, then like Brownian motion, they could just eventually, if you're on the site for a long time, end up miles away. Um, so maybe I should just do, well, that's not true. I just won't make it cumulative. I'll just set it to a number um, within the range. So let's see, position dot x equals, well, no, I don't want to do that because I don't want to teleport around.
Let's see, can you calculate what the min and max y will be? Because then you can have like a pseudo random based off of the numbers. Like I don't know if it's necessarily between negative 200 and 200, but like you can make some kind of like pseudo random number between minus 200 to 200, and then throw the index somehow to like give it a different value, and then I don't know, it can do something.
I think I'm going to interpolate it to its current position and another position that's within like a random, like 4 to the left or 4 to the right. And that way the interpolation will smooth it so that it's not just jumping over there, but it'll, like the direction will change and it might move more one way than the other, I think. It makes sense. So let's do vector 3. So just, oops, just a random, there's not. It's random is just between 0 and 1, right?
Yeah.
Um, oh, actually, I don't want to interpolate it in all 3 axes. What is this types does this take? Oh, perfect, it's numbers, so that's good. Okay.
I'm sorry, what is a lerp?
Linear interpolation, I think is what it stands for. It basically, so it's, you have 2 numbers and you have a, like an in, or time, I guess is in this case. So basically you take the first number and um, it, I'm trying to do math or visualize math in my head to describe it to you. The time is basically how far between those points. So it calculates, like if you do 0.5, you'll get a number completely between x and y. If you do 0.75, you'll get one 3/4 of the way between x and y. So it's a way of finding
Okay.
a point between, or value between 2 other values, and you can like do smooth motion between it or based on time. Um, do times 2 or times, wait a minute. Okay, so times 2 minus 1 will get you a random number between -1 and 1. So
Times 2 minus 1. That would get you
yeah,
a
a random
random number
number.
between minus 0.5 and 0.5, I think. Is that right?
But if it's 1, then 1 times 2 is 2 minus 1. Oh,
Yeah, I think you're right.
oh, you're right.
Minus 1 to 1, actually. You're right, I
Okay,
think.
cool. So if I
Yeah.
do times 4 minus 2, I don't think that actually will work, but
Yeah, you're right. Times 2 minus 1. Yeah, I'll give you minus 1
okay.
to 1.
Well, let's see here.
You're busting out the calculator.
Okay, so that works too. So this should be, okay, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna do this between 2 and -2. And then let's say, I wonder how high these deltas are. I'll do like delta. What did I end up doing here? I'm multiplying it by 8 to get it to be even noticeable, so I'll just do delta. This may be horrible. Oh my gosh, I'm making myself sick. Hold on. Okay. Whew. Don't go spinning into the snowstorm.
Oh no. When you stare into the snowman for too long, lights turn off.
Oh, I'm
Snowflakes
off.
start whirling.
What I just did won't actually do anything. I need to do set component.
That component.
Okay. How is
Whee!
that even? It's not really even noticeable, is it?
It is, and
Maybe
it's
the
not good.
arc is. Maybe it's too much movement.
Yeah, it's too much jitteriness.
So it needs to be like smoother. Um,
And slower rate of change.
I guess a smarter way to do this instead of random would just be to like do a sine wave over a fairly long period. I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe just pick like
Maybe it
a
doesn't need to wiggle
much
anyway.
bigger number.
All right, so let's do.
I'd say instead of 4 and minus 2, you should do like 100
So
and like
you don't think
50.
that'll make it too spastic? 100 would mean the entire thing could move all the way to the left or all the way to the right.
Oh, so that's like the range that it's allowed to move in.
Yeah, so this is
Um,
giving me like it's like the 2 minus 1. This is 4 minus 2, so it's to the left 2 or to the right 2, or adding or
okay.
adding or mining, adding or subtracting 2
Yeah, so
from
then
the actual
the
zero
delta is
position.
changing too fast. So
Okay,
you should divide by some number. Divide by, yeah, multiply by much smaller than that. And also, I guess it could be a little bit more sporadic because right now it's just slightly shimming.
this might be too jittery. Since this does actually run every frame, this also may be like imperceivable. It's pretty imperceivable. Okay, let's try I think maybe this is not the best approach here. Let's try maybe doing um, the sine wave thing.
I think the delta's fine. I think you just got to pick a better number. Like I think maybe that's just too small, but also the
Remember, the
range
delta
is not
also,
big
the
enough.
smaller the delta gets, like the less you're going to see movement at all anyway.
Yeah, but like with a bit bigger range of movement, it'll like sway very slowly in one direction.
But it's still, oh, I guess that's true. And this is also not, oh no, okay, this is based off of its original position.
Yeah.
So
Also though,
this
like
could be cumulative. So maybe hmm, that's not what I meant to do. Maybe I meant to do it with it like going from 0 to that location. Otherwise, it could be cumulative, which we don't want because I don't want it to be able to actually move. I don't want it to, keep walking, and I'd like it to stick around 0. And this way it won't go outside of that range. I don't know. This probably is, again, not the best way to do this. Um, Let's
The
try.
delta's fine. It's gonna find like a nice multiplier because like it's anything relative to time. He's gonna multiply it by whatever. It's all linear speeds, so it's anything that moves linear with time will work.
It's not really noticeable unless it's right in front of your face.
Yeah, but like feel like the what's it called the range that it's allowed to move.
Right. You
It's
think it should be bigger?
yeah.
I realized I could just do. Well, no, multiplication happens first, so it is actually doing it after that. It's a little jittery. It's not terrible. Oh, that doesn't help if I'm turning. What do you guys think?
I don't like it.
Okay. You don't like it or you do?
I don't like it.
Okay. What do you think it
Yeah.
should be? Less mechanical or less?
Can you choose an outrageous number? I'm not convinced
For
that the
which? The
math
range or
dot
the delta?
random is the math dot random part. Yeah, like choose like crazy numbers, like 150.
Okay.
Why it's shaking when I get closer to it? I don't know. It happens only to me.
I think like
Yeah,
the
it's
deltas
just more
too.
noticeable when you're there close, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's unpleasant.
Okay, and then for the delta, tone it down way a lot. So like
Oh, actually,
zero,
that's a good idea.
yeah. Because like you have the motion now, but you just need to make sure that the rate is not that fast. Even more. 0015.
It's gonna be like not even moving it. Well, I don't know what the delta's like, so
It's hopping between some number to minus 200, I guess.
maybe that was too many zeros.
Too many zeros. One less zero.
So a different option here. What if rather, I think part of the problem is maybe the delta, but part of it may also be the frequency at which this is happening and the target that it's shifting towards is changing. So what if rather than this happening on every frame, um, maybe every 10 frames, a random position is chosen, and then it just lerps towards that until that time is met, and then it changes positions. Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like I think like with the wider range, you're gonna always have that like there's going to be that frame where like the snowflake warps very weird.
Well, it'll always be using the lerp to get to where it wants to go. It just that target may change. So it's kind of like it'll be heading in this direction, and the point's over here, and it starts heading back over there. The point's here and it goes this way. But it'll be going at a consistent rate and just less frequent instead of every time being like, here's a point that goes this way, and then here's the point next frame it goes this way, and here's another point over here goes that way. It'll be um, moving towards the point, and then the point will change, and it'll go this way. So I think that would make it smoother. I think. The question is how to do that, because I
Can
have
you
to keep track of it in
do you,
between.
I think the best way to get it for delta because delta is supposed to technically shift from 0 to 1, I think.
It's the amount
Like
of time that's
it'll
elapsed since the last frame rendered.
yeah, like it obviously can loop and like do all the like you don't have to do 0 to 1, right? Like if you do 0 to 2, it'll just like do it twice. Um but like it'd be better to find an equation where it's not like some solo rate. Like it should be like if you knew what the max and min was for your delta, you can tune it to be like a better number.
I don't know that there is necessarily a max or a min, because it could,
I mean,
your computer could go really slow and like 5 seconds could lapse and then it has to catch up.
all right, delta's the time.
Tells us the time elapsed since last frame. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish you can get the position. Oh wait, can't you just do pos dot y?
Yeah, I mean, I have the position. You mean the Y position or the
Yeah,
X position that we're shifting on?
the y position. Yeah. What's the biggest y number? Is it 200?
Y goes
And
from
then
200 to negative 200.
okay. So I
Oh,
would
I see what you're
do
saying. Okay. So let's do, um, should I still do lerp or should I just like do a big sine wave based on the Y position?
either or. I mean, that's essentially what like literally if you do the sine wave, math.random on its own would be the sine wave, and then whatever the formula is to just do 200 minus pos.y, that would give you the sine wave basically.
Okay. Wait. What are we subtracting the 200 from? Because, well, sine will just give me between -1 and 1, right? So if I amplify that, so maybe that'll make things too jumpy.
No, because it just tries to go to that direction.
Okay, so I should still be doing lerp.
Yeah, but like math.sine of like random is it's not quite the same thing as math.random, but like it's basically the same thing. Like it's just going to give you a number between -1 and 1.
Right.
And
Oh,
it'll
I
just be
thought you meant
random.
I thought we are basing this off the Y position. Then we don't have to worry about the delta because the Y position will change based on the delta. Let me just see what that looks like real quick. And then you can
Okay.
explain what you're explaining that I didn't understand. This may be horrible. It probably will be, but let's just see what happens.
No, it'll be great.
Okay, too much movement, too much increase. Oh my gosh, okay. Maybe
Is it?
2.
Oh god.
Don't look away. Look away.
It's the opposite of what Ninja. It's exactly what Ninja was looking for. A lot of movement. Uh,
It's not awful.
It's cool like this.
Oh,
You
okay.
can
That
put the
the
challenge
barrier
if
between
you
the two
don't
is a
get.
little rough.
also,
You
without the
can.
map.random, you're they're all moving in unison.
Oh, so it's we're moving the entire object anyway. We're not actually moving the individual points.
Oh really?
It's each chunk of points is a single object. Otherwise, it's like rewriting the. Can you tell? Can you see the divide when they come down
Yeah.
though? That's a little off-putting.
Oh
Um,
god.
yeah, yeah.
There's the snowman hopping up and down. I can see the
Fabio said
divide.
snow is dancing.
How can we keep? Why are they so out of? Why are the two of them so out of sync though? That's that um like the two objects being different. I don't. That's weird that they're
It,
not in unison.
it might be a divide difference. So
Like
like
there's too much space between them or something.
yeah, like there's never going to be a time where like in the maths it's correct. Like eventually like the y position would hit basically like -200 and it should just wrap in that moment. But this is unfortunately computer land.
I
So
guess
like
it's
it'll
true.
go from like negative 190 to like negative 210, and it's like, yeah, totally wrap. And who cares about that like 10 um, moments where it wasn't, I guess, or something weird. I don't
Can
know.
I? Okay, another question here. I wonder if I can actually. Um, oh, I could just get the bounding box. That would have been cool. Didn't remember that that existed. Um,
Oh man, seeing that divide is scary.
what does this do? Oh, it's not what I was thinking it was. Okay. Um,
Darn, it'd be cool if you can get them all like slightly randomed
like
using the
moving
sine
them each
wave.
individually.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way to do that. Um,
So like, does pos dot y, like, is this the entire group, or is
yeah,
this
this entire
technically?
group. Could double up the instances. Maybe that would look better. So could be some variation between them, but they'd be like stacked.
Yeah, they'll just be more like dividers.
Yeah.
Maybe just slow down the sine wave. Maybe it's like not so noticeable if
So I should multiply the, wait,
yeah, multiply that by like some
yeah.
decimal number or divide by some number. Yeah, because maybe if it's just slow enough, like it'll be fine looking.
Yeah,
I
actually
mean,
the
either way though.
divide doesn't look as bad there. It is nice having like multiple well, actually this doesn't look terrible. I mean, and keep in mind like all you're not going to see these snowflakes right in front of your face. They'll all be off in the distance. Although but there is definitely a way to manipulate the geometry after it's been created. Um, let me think here. Because I know like I've seen stuff that people done where there's like waves or making a geometry or yeah, making objects have waves go on them. Let me look real quick.
Well, I mean, I think, I mean, just for the interest of time, I think I'd be willing to call this a success for like the first one through.
Okay.
You want to solve the other issue?
Oh, points, waves. Curious what's going to be.
You should just have that in the background.
How does this work? Uh, okay, wait. Are they using? No, they're not. I thought they were maybe using a shader to do that. Let's see here. Okay, so you do actually have direct access to the positions. Oh, you can scale them? Oh no, it's the entire scale maybe. Okay. All right. So maybe for next round, um, can add that in. So what was the next thing we were gonna focus on? Was there something else with the
uh,
snow or the
yeah,
keeping them from spawning
the
inside?
yeah the layer issue. Yeah, so the snow needs to always be in the back.
Yeah. So I think actually the easiest thing with that is just to keep, just don't generate any vertices within the area that we want to be indoors.
Well, because like even the ones that are like all the way in the background, like none of them ever go behind like the cactus. The cactus is always behind it. Like if you keep
What
your eye on the
happened?
cactus.
Why did we run out of snow? Uh-oh, it's just going away. Did I change something?
Mine's still going.
That's weird. Oh, they came back. What's happening here? Oh, am I looking? I'm very confused what's happening. Where, let me find an object around oh, I was just looking down. That's why they disappeared, because they all both teleported out. Okay. Um, right. So what are other options in this? All right, fine. Okay, let's do depth. Let's turn depth right on. That way it should write there the depth information. I think maybe that'll work. I don't think it's working. Let me look at the, oops, let me look at the docs for points.
Was it like supposed to just like have a number somewhere?
Let's see here.
I always tell myself I'll remember how to open the terminal. Dang it. Nope, that's downloads.
Oh no, I want the material. That's right. Okay. Let's see here.
I don't know. I just try to mail the website I was on. Okay. It's one of these stupid keys. Yeah, I just mailed the stupid website again. Let's try this.
Alpha test. Set the alpha value used when running an alpha test. Material will not be rendered if the opacity is lower than the value. All right, that. Huh? Maybe that. Oh, I think it's because the blending is additive. That's the problem. That's it's adding to things maybe. Um, Maybe it has something to do with depth. Um, Let me try turning off depth test again. Oh, I guess before when I turned it off and it broke things, I think that was because um, I also had also changed the texture path. Oops. Okay, looks like that's doing it. Wait, are any of these going in front of it now? Oh, that one did. Okay, cool. So depth test being off was the thing.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, sweet. Very nice.
Do a little cleaning up of this component here. Actually, don't. Don't care about that. That's nicer. Don't care about after viewing it. Okay. I'm not using these. Okay. And let's do so for generating positions of the snowflakes, if I wanted them to not be generated inside of a certain range, it's probably not a good solution to say, oh, if this point's not inside this range, return this function again, because if you get really bad or unlucky with the random number stuff, it could go for a long period of time without returning anything. But equally, if you just don't return it when it doesn't work, then you're going to end up with a lot of dead spots.
Yeah. I mean, like, that is true, but like, given how pseudo random math.random is, I mean, like, you are more or less guaranteed that, like, if any of them make it through, that like it's going to get through eventually. A nice way to kind of make a donut of randomness is to just make sure that, like, if you know your negative, if your random number is positive, just guarantee that you add a certain value to it, which will be the center. And if it's negative, just subtract a certain value from it. And if you do that for some radius, then you'll create a donut.
I guess a donut would work.
Yeah. And then the laziest solution would just be like, just find out what the longest length is for the thing is, and then you can go from there.
All right, so how would you do your donut thing? Do you want to
Yeah.
do it?
Rand. So like you might want to make like a second function for rand.
Do you want to type?
Oh, sure. I can type. It stopped following you a long time ago. Okay, let me. All right, I'm here.
Okay.
Oh god, it is speed running. Okay, 1 second. Okay, is it done?
Catching up?
Yeah. All right, cool. I think I'm here now. Just pop all this here for a second. All right, let's see here. So I'll just say rand equals this.
Oh, I didn't notice Ilyass is having a rave.
Yeah. In having a raid. You should have seen the very beginning of it. It was like flashing really hard. Let's enter, and then press enter. Yeah. So your
I guess
inner
I have
value.
to enjoy the vibes.
Yeah.
Enjoy me.
Yeah. So this is exactly the same function. I can just put rand here actually. Probably not call this rand though. What should I call this? Yeah. Yeah. Look, I can call it outer. Means, yeah. So you're guaranteed that your values will always have an inner radius of inner. So if you find your radius, your biggest radius for your bobber, then plop that number in for inner, and it'll never go inside that value.
What happened there? Let's see how big the room is, and then I can get clever later and use the bounding box computation from the loaded geometry and use that, type that value in. But this will at least give us a starting value so you can see how it looks. Where'd you go, Blender? Hello, Blender.
Uh-oh.
Aha. Is it? Oh, it's bouncing around. Oh, it's on, where is it? Is it on a different screen? Okay, let's not do that then. Let's try that one more time. Aha. Oh. Okay, so let's say 85.
Oh God. Okay. Donut Rand. 85, you said?
Yeah.
A basic question. Why do we need a Blender?
Blender is modeling software, so it's like all this, the snowman and the level and all that stuff I made in Blender, and then exported as GLTF files, which is GL transmission format. So like this is what I created, the level in, and how I
And
added
those
the.
formats can be read by browsers?
So
I'm
yeah,
interested.
GLTF is a interchange format for OpenGL, which and WebGL also. ThreeJS also has code you can actually read from a variety of different model formats. GLTF is just really nice because it preserves materials that you set up with shaders and stuff in a way that WebGL is able to handle nicely, and you can export a single file that can contain geometry, animations, your material information, and texture images. So it's convenient, so you don't have to load things independently.
That's cool.
Yeah, I actually have all of the geometry except for the snowman are in this one file, and then I've got a Python script set up that can um, exports the individual files that I load separately. Yep, I actually the sky sphere is in here too. It's just hidden because it would get in the way of moving around. Uh, yep, looks a lot more dramatic. Okay, so the clouds obviously this is what I was expecting the clouds to look like, which is why I was a little disappointed in the how they actually render because they're much less opaque. But cool. Let's close this for now. Don't need to save changes. Um, oh, where'd all the snow go?
They're really far in the background.
What? Why is 85 not the right size? Maybe it's
I
not.
tried it and it was still clipping. Let me try it with this file. We try it this way instead. Try to get fancier with it and subtract 85 from the outer but maybe that doesn't work.
Oh, I see some off in the very distance. But, oh wait, it's the whole, that's, what is, it's like
Let me
it's like it's the inverse of what you want, maybe. Or maybe not. Maybe it is.
so
Yeah, it
like
feels
doing
like
it
it's in a
like,
column.
or maybe we only need the donut random for the um for the plane that's like the ground. Would that be the z axis?
X and Z are, uh, Y is the up and down. X and Z are the, like forward, backwards, left, right. So yeah, maybe you do want to keep Y, um, fully randomized. That could be like part of the problem why it seemed like there was a whole, um, still
Still
feels
seeing a
very much
hole.
like a little column.
Uh,
Was that you that left?
Me?
The co-chair or the live coding, live sharing?
I have not.
Oh,
Making changes still.
okay. Maybe go back to yours.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just need some. I have no internet.
Is it not that one? Let me see here.
Y is definitely up and down. Um, that's better. Oh, now it's just not showing up.
There's like a whole plane that doesn't show.
Oh, it's weird. I feel like it's
That's,
moving with the camera, which is strange. But I guess it's because it's far away.
yeah, I guess.
No, yeah, I guess it is. It's a perspective trick. Um,
It's weird. This isn't the result that I was hoping for. um,
let me re-enable the room. That might be helpful. I'll re-enable the room, but I'll turn collisions off so we can go outside of the. Um,
it shouldn't matter. Or at least like the room, because like
well, I
obviously
just
like
get a feeling
it
for
shouldn't.
what or where stuff, what stuff is where, and also to give a little bit of perspective about, um, how far away things are.
Uh, oh yeah, I definitely cannot see. Uh,
Okay, this feels like it's only inside. Like it's not outside. I mean, it's up. Oh, that's weird.
I'm definitely like shifting the values up around. Yeah, this isn't feeling right.
Oh wait, now it's okay. There's still some coming inside, but there's not as many.
Yeah, but like there's a really weird giant gap in the middle. Like that's not the
Like the
intention.
donut hole.
Yeah. We try the
Oh yeah, and there's
I just
nothing
keep
over. Oh no, there's some over the side.
yeah, I keep on shifting to see which one is the one to go with. So it's like the last variation to check, I guess. Or the donuts on X only. But yeah, that's not what I was expecting.
That looks better. Okay, there's snow outside
Yeah, but
that door.
there's like a giant gap
There's no outside the
still.
window.
Yeah, there's a
Nothing outside
weird
that side. It's a half. It's only a snowstorm outside the door. Snowman.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could technically copy and paste the the two sides and put them the other way.
But why? So
Yeah.
why is it over? Okay, so you're doing.
Yeah,
Oh,
so basically,
you're not centering it though. I think that's the problem.
yeah, I think
Oh wait,
like
no, you're calling
for
random. Okay, I see, I see. Hold on.
yeah. So I don't think this technically works now I'm thinking about it, because this is basically just forcing one axis out. So like if I think about this in 2 dimensions, if I say that x can't be less than -2 and it has to be bigger than 2, then there's just going to be this gap. And that's what we're seeing. It's just this
Uh,
giant gap. Yeah, so this isn't the answer. Oops.
could we do? Okay, so the area in between is okay. Can we do? Hold on. Let me change your code. Um, oh wait, I do want that. So if I keep, well, let me just copy this so we can go back to yours. Um,
What's the equation? What's the axis that's the bottom? I think um that's z.
huh?
Is the axis for the bottom, or like the plane that's at the bottom, is that the xz axis?
Yes.
Okay. Here.
Maybe this will work. So I'm basically just shrinking the random sampling by half the size of the hole, and then adding or subtracting half the hole from the position based on if it's bigger than 0 or less than 0. Did I do that backwards? If it's bigger, yeah, if it's bigger, I move it to like make it higher by half of it. Okay, I see. Oh, look at that. I see snow, see snow, see snow. Okay, how does this look like from outside now? Oh, well, I saw snow. Oh, huh?
It's the planes.
Okay, there's the hole in the middle. That's kind of cool, actually. Um, oh, I see, but this may be exactly what you were just saying, but it's shifting it, but it's only shifted it on it's shifting in 2 dimensions. It needs to, wait a minute. That shouldn't be right, though. It shouldn't just not be showing up over here, should it? That doesn't make sense.
If you create a gap, yeah, because like if I say that like just 2 dimensions, or just think of
Yeah.
a number line, right? So if I have like the numbers from 0 to 10, and I say that x can't be between 3 and 5, then obviously there's just going to be that gap.
Oh, you're doing this only on these two. Okay, so this should be using it as well.
But if you introduce it to more positions, it's just going to have more gaps. So now this will create a gap for the z-axis as well, and that's why we see those like 4 columns happening.
But I think oh, But in this one right now, it's only 2 columns based on what I just changed it to. So having
Yeah.
4
If you
columns
do
would be
the
better, I think.
no, it'd be worse. It'd be even worse.
I want to see what you're talking about. Turns out it's hard to make snow fall where you want it to, much like real life. Okay, I'm just gonna go outside. Oh, yeah, still a noticeable void of snow over there. Oh my
Yeah, so there's
gosh.
your first pillar, and then there's another pillar, and then there's 2 other pillars on the other side.
Woo. Um, Wait, why does that happen?
It's like the number line metaphor.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
so like the donut rand or rand donut, yeah, donut rand. What it does basically is if it'll push you outside of a range. So if I say that range is from 2 to 4, if the number won't be between 2 and 4,
Right,
because if it's less than 2, it'll shrink. Or if it's in the middle, but it's like closer to 2, it'll just shrink. And then if it's bigger than that, then it'll push past 4. So if you think of that on just the number line, right? Like you would draw a line, and then at 2, you'd stop drawing, and then at 4, you would continue drawing. So
right.
you have these 2 lines. But if you think about that in 3D space, that would make a plane. But
Oh,
there's like a slit. And then if you do it again in a different dimension, now there's 2 slits making a plus sign,
right,
giving you
right,
4
right,
columns.
right, right. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes
so
sense.
not quite the solution, I guess. Um,
Could convert it to polar coordinates and then
yeah, that's
convert
what
it
I'm trying to
back
figure
up to
right
median
now.
actor.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. So
yeah.
I want to see real quick what this did, and then if there's one thing in math that I have memorized, it is, well, at least I used to. Um, those two
You could
conversions. Oh my
do
gosh, no man, startled me. Okay, well this made the columns bigger. That's kind of cool, but obviously still not what we want. Okay. All right, so let's try another function here.
so like okay, so what you could do is
Oh, but this needs to be two-dimensional. Maybe
yeah,
that's the trick
it's
here.
gonna
We
have
need to,
to
it needs to have two-dimensional awareness and to generate this, maybe that's the
yeah,
problem. We're trying to turn a one-dimensional thing into 3 dimensions, and
yeah. So like what you could do is you could seed a random number, like just it doesn't really like technically should be between like 0 and 2 pi or whatever. Um, and just return the x and y coordinate. So your radius, if the inner was supposed to be 85, then the radius would be half of 85. So x coordinate would be half of 85 times cosine of some random angle, and then the y would be the same thing, but it'd be sine of that same angle. And then z would be, or I guess, sorry, x and z would be those things, and then y would just be any number, it doesn't really matter.
what if I just get, okay, what about, can I just do, uh, um,
I'll get you 1/2 of the circle.
oh, or I meant 2 pi. I think there's a 2 pi constant. Maybe there's not.
Yeah, it's gonna multiply by 2. I mean, to be honest, you could just pass size, because like a random number between like minus 100 to 200, I mean, like you're not going to notice a difference. It will definitely like technically be heavier on one side than the other, but like it's not really that big of a difference. Also, that math.random times math.pi times 2 should be the same value for both x and z.
Oh, you're right. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, so r would be the size of the hole. That would be constant. And then theta or delta or eng. O, R, and D.
Is it?
It doesn't really
I guess it
matter
doesn't. You
too
know, you're
much.
right. It doesn't matter which one's which. And then I can just do.
Just times whole. Yeah. Or yeah, that works. But then like the whole plus R and D times size, that shouldn't matter. The only thing that
This
oh
will
okay,
push
I
it,
see what you're
make it so
doing.
that yeah, there would be a circular hole in the middle.
Yeah. So yeah,
Um,
it'll push it out randomly to give you that random depth. That makes sense. Okay. Cool. So whole rand. we got 3 minutes until I gotta go to the thing. I want to see this thing work.
okay, so I can just do
Const square brace xy equal whole rand.
can I spread an array into? I can't do that, right?
Well, you could just do like you could do like const and then square brace xy equal.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. Or you could you could do that too. You could say const chords equal whole rand and then spread it and then comma. Like yeah, you could do that too, I think.
Ooh,
Yeah, you're totally right. You could have spread the coordinates.
okay. I was
I
thinking I
like
could
this way
have.
more
I can't
though.
remember.
So the only thing is I think this won't work because I think that y is the one that's supposed to be just a random number. I think it's x and z that are supposed to be the ones that that care. But you should see a cylinder as it falls
Yeah,
through us.
perfect.
Okay, so you just gotta swap y and z. Oh,
Wait,
maths.
did I go too far? Oh no, this is just okay.
Yeah,
Very.
it's definitely a cylinder on its side.
It's also very flat though. Am I not randomizing? Oh, I need to be randomizing. Okay, hold on. This needs to be. Um, this should
Should be a
be
different
random
value.
still.
Yeah. Then obviously you're gonna have to like mess around with the values, of course, but oh nice.
Make it even more confusing.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, while this is loading, go ahead and do the wrap up
Oh,
spiel. As I predicted, this took the
it
entire time.
worked, I think.
Yay! It looks good, I think. How
Yeah, it
flat?
does look good.
Yeah, that's nice.
Nice.
Uh, got
If you look
falling
straight up,
snow.
it's just a hole.
That's true. It's not very exciting to look up anymore, but that's okay. Yeah,
That's what
so
ceilings are
cool.
for.
Snow, that's true. That's true. No skylights in here. Just gotta make sure I don't add anything like that. Okay. Um, yeah. So I think that's a success. It's not super noticeable. Also, I apparently forgot to turn the sky back on. It's noticeable. It's good. I like it. Maybe make this radius a little bit smaller, or do some shenanigans and make it like a smaller ellipse so that it
Yeah,
envelops the
maybe have
rectangular
like
shape of the building.
have bigger snowflakes
Yeah,
that
that could be good too.
better depth looking stuff. Because I really miss those big snowflakes. I don't like the like little. I mean the little thingies are cool too, but like I like a little more chunk.
Can try to tighten the gap or add some more randomness to the sizes. Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's gonna do. Oh, sorry,
Ah,
Snowman. It's gonna do it for the stream for today. Um, Thanks for watching, and we will be back in the future with other live coding streams.
yeah, dancing cactuses,
Yes, dancing cactus. All right,
cacti.
farewell.